Hello and welcome again to the second of my vlogs of my Book Expo America and BookCon haul. I've actually watched a few other haul videos and they've been quite amazing. I don't think anyone else got as many as I got, 116 books as previously mentioned. So I'm going to have to break this down into who knows how many parts. This second part is going to be mostly all young adult YA, and I've tried to actually break down my piles here that we're going to go through from signed or, you know, with my name in them signed, to books that I knew were going to be there, to books I did not know were going to be available but just looked amazing and I decided I had to go home with them, which meant, well, I promised to try before I went to the show to not go crazy. It didn't happen. But I should note that I had a schedule, and lots of things on my schedule did not happen. Other things that were amazing did happen. I got to spend the whole show finally for the first time with a friend, and that was the most amazing experience of my entire life. I've been doing Book Expo America for the last couple of years. Since 2009, I've been going by myself. I have friends in the industry and I've met friends there, but I've never actually gotten to walk the show floor from each thing that I wanted to do, from the minute I stepped on the floor to the minute I left, with someone that I loved and with someone I was enjoyed spending hours upon hours with, which there aren't that many in life, and we all know that, so we don't have to go through that. But I've heard about people doing that, and it's always excited me, so it was great to finally do that. So let's get this started. This video is probably going to be much longer than a part 3 or a part 4 or a part 5, because this is going to be where a lot of my stuff fell. So we're going to start with the signing. We're going to start with one of the other huge, probably one of the hugest books of the show, and that is Brian Selznick's newest book. It is absolutely huge. Comes out on September 15th, 2015. It is The Marbles. It is absolutely gorgeous. I went to a special event at the Hudson Theater where Brian Selznick presented the book and gave an amazing presentation about the history of the making of the book. And it came with a very special little gift along with it in a little blue bag like this. Is a miniature version of The Marbles. It literally is a miniature version. It's not the whole book. It is only some of the illustration sections of the book. But it's an amazing little tiny keepsake. And I was very happy to go to the event. They had alcohol and food, and Brian was there, and he signed all the books, and it was an absolutely wonderful way to finish my first day at BookCon and Book Expo. And now we will just continue on. As I hit things, I will tell stories that I can relay. This was on the Friday. I got there very early because I was there with an exhibitor. The friend that I was with was also there with an exhibitor whose book is on sale now. It doesn't fall under YA, but it's a fascinating story, and I will be talking more about it. If you are looking at this on my website, you will see a banner ad for It Is What It Is by Colin Raff. That's if you're watching this on my website. I will be posting that there just as much as it is on YouTube. But this is Black Widow, Forever Red. We got there nice and early, first in line. This is literally the first ever signed copy of Black Widow, Forever Red by Margaret Stohl. This is a really exciting book. I've started reading it. Margaret Stohl really understands Natasha, and she gets action adventure, and she's really brought a lot into it. It's coming out in October. It was one of Disney's big shows of the book. It was a very popular book. The line for this was insane. So I'm very glad to have a copy and to actually have the first one ever signed. Next up we have, this is the G-Man Super Journal. I've been enjoying Chris Giarasso's work for years, from his bits in the Savage Dragon to his bits with Marvel, and now with G-Man. And now he's taken the G-Man comic and turned into, a Diary of a Wimpy Kid kind of thing. It's become very popular, but it's a format that just works, and it really works with G-Man. And he was giving out these really cool trading cards, and I got the whole trading card set. It's falling out of the book here, but I'll try to show that off here. Here are some of them. There's a couple more, but here's 2 of them. There's about 3 or 4 more, and they're here somewhere. And Chris actually started spelling my name wrong, but he fixed it, and he drew a little G-Man, and it was great to get this personalized, and I was fairly early in line for that, and I was pretty excited for that. Book that I was really excited for is George. The LGBT community is something that has been a big part of my life since I was 16, probably before that. This book by Alex Gino is just amazing. It's coming out on August 25th, 2015. It's a book that's really needed. Libraries around the world need this. School libraries need to have this book. As we, go into a new millennium and people understanding transgender and gender fluid and sexuality of all, identities all over, and just, being who you are, which is, that's the tagline itself, be who you are. And I'm really looking forward to reading this, and Alex is an amazing person, and you should get this when it comes out. You really should. Just like Black Widow, DC did not want to be outdid, though. So this is Lois Lane Fallout. It's from Capstone Books. It is actually out now. This is a finished copy. It's Gwenda Bond. She personally signed it, and I absolutely love the cover. The graphic design is amazing, and this is supposed to be one of the best books out there of for young female readers, and it's something a lot of kids were excited for, so check that out. So, in the morning of, I believe it was Thursday, I attended a Harlequin breakfast with other bloggers, and there were a lot of Harlequin writers there and Harlequin editors, and they gave out lots of awesome, great books. And here are a few of them. Here are the ones they gave out. This was Nowhere But Here by Katie McGrary. This is going to be out. This is actually out right now in hardcover. I believe during a signing that was a line that was obscenely long. They were giving out the hard copy upstairs, but I believe it's not that much different from the ARC, and that's why they provide it with us. And the story of Motorcycle Club just sounds really fascinating, and Katie was really very cool, great woman to meet. As was Eleanor Herman. She also signed this, and she was dressed amazingly. She looked like a goddess, and this series sounds really, really cool, and I'm very curious to check it out. There was also Adiel Seed, and I absolutely loved both of his books that have been come out before this. Let's Get Lost was amazing, and Somewhere Over the Sun, which is sadly no longer available. He gave that to me way many years ago before he was signed with Harlequin, but I was able to catch him later on the floor. He forgot to sign while he was at the breakfast, but I caught him on the floor later, and he got it signed, and I'm really excited to see what he's offering this time. Another book on that, which I cannot at this time find, but I want to definitely mention it, is Jennifer Armentrout. She has a new series, and it sounded great. And I know I took it home with me, but it seems to have disappeared. Hopefully I'll find it, or I have it in a pile incorrectly with other books, or who knows. But I wanted to make sure that that book was mentioned. It sounds like a great new series. There's a whole voting about who the character's going to end up with in the next book, and it sounds like a great new series. Next up, as you can see, it even has a sticker, signed copy, Neil Schwab. He does the amazing strip Rehabilitating Mr. Wiggles, if you've ever read that. This is his first YA book, and it looks really awesome. There's tons of his art, and looks really fun. Now, I had gotten online for James Dashner because they had said that Game of Lives was going to be there, which would be the next book in his other series. Now, they did not have that available, but they did have this absolutely amazing collector's edition, which had both the Maze Runner and the Scorch Trials in one book, which is absolutely brilliant. And they are supposedly doing another collector's edition, which will have the Death Cure and the Kill Order together in one book. And this is awesome just to have it in edition like this, and signed by Mr. Dashner. This will be the second time I'll have met him, and it was a pleasure as always. This is a new series from Disney. It's by Amit Zappa and his wife, Shayna Muldoon. And it just sounds a lot of fun. It was really awesome to meet Amit Zappa. I have been a fan of the Zappa brothers for years, both him and Dweezil, and their music. Love their father, but Amit and Dweezil have done music that's blown my mind, and you may have heard some of Amit's music lately in themes and jingles. That's what he's been focusing on. Supposedly, I read somewhere there is music coming for this. I don't know when that's going to happen, but this book will actually be coming out. I believe it actually is out now. It's a dual book, and it's out now. It's a split into two books. Actually, no, it is not scheduled until 9/15/2015. This is an arc, despite the way the book is presented, and you should definitely check it out. It looks like a great series. And I know that along the way I kind of missed mentioning the dates on a few other books. So Neil Schwab's book is going to be out on, as soon as I get that for you. Like I said, this would probably be a longer video than others, and I would make some mistakes along the way. I cannot seem to find... Oh, September 2015. And Adi's new book will be coming out in... Sometimes they don't make it really easy to find the date of the actual... This will be actually published next month in July. Legacy of Kings will be out in September. And that, I believe, covers everything that I mentioned before. Galactic Hot Dogs was a book that really sounded really fun when I read about it before the show, and it is actually out now. And you can go to the website. It's, signed by the author. It's really cute, and you should check it out. They had a really cool promotion for the book at the show with people dressed up as hot dogs, and Aladdin seems really excited about this. It's a Simon & Schuster production, and they're pretty excited about this book, it seems. So if they're excited, you should be excited. Capstone has this new series. It's from the Stone Arch part of Capstone. I've been a fan of Franco's for years. I used to read his old werewolf stuff and his other comics, and he works on Tiny Titans, with Art Baldatar and Superman Adventures and Hey Kids comics, and they're all great stuff. This is a series that he did all by himself. It's called Dino Mike. It's adorable, and you should definitely check it out. It's out now. Next up, we got Benjamin Franklin, Huge Pain in My Ass. This is published by Disney. I'm Hibernian. That cover actually is a Neil Schwab cover. This will be out on 9/08/15, and it's written by Adam Manzik and co-written by Alan Zweibel. You may know Alan Zweibel from being just lots of awards. He used to work for SNL and a lot of TV shows, and you may have seen him on some TV shows, but mostly his writing is really known, and he's really cool. Adam Manzik is a well-known writer too, but it was really exciting to meet Alan Zweibel. Another big and psychotic book of the show was The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch by Daniel Kraus. This is a buzz book, and I was really excited about it. You can see it's huge, and this is just volume 1. Comes out on 10/27/2015. That's October 27th. It was great to meet Daniel. It was one of the last things I did at the show, period, before everything closed, I believe, on Book Expo, not BookCon, but Book Expo. I was glad to finally get my hands on this, and it's going to take forever to read, but it's all worth it. VIPM with a Band was another book that I was really excited for. This comes out in December from Little Brown, and it's got like comics in it, and it's about a band, and Jack Colatona was really great to meet, and I was glad to get my hands on this one. And I believe in the sign of here of what I'm going through, this is The League of Unacceptable Children. School of Fear was absolutely amazing. I loved that book. I will read it again probably in the future, and I'm excited to read another Giddy book. Giddy was a pleasure to meet. She's gorgeous too, by the way. Not that that matters. All the female authors are gorgeous. All the male authors are good-looking men. Everyone's beautiful. We all know that. Everyone is beautiful in their own little way, or in their own big way, as the case may be. But I'm glad to have finally gotten through that. We are almost at 20 minutes, and I'm not going to be able to edit this. We're going to go through the rest of this really, really quick, because I don't have stories. There's books that you should get, and I'm excited to finally have my hands on. So first is the books that I definitely knew that I was going to get at the show, and I may have waited online or just was able to grab them off the floor. Some I had wanted to got signed, but that didn't happen because of schedules. But here we go. It's The Doldrums. It's great packaging. Amazing packaging. It's in this little box. I'll open the box. You can see the actual book itself with the cover, because it will not be in a box. The final book's going to be in full color. It's by Nicholas Gannon. I think you saw. There we go. And this will be out on (9/25/15) is the current date. Next up is The Blackthorn Key by Kevin Sands. This will be available 9/8/15. Check it out. Warren the 13 and The All-Seeing Eye. It's from Quirk Books. It's going to be fully illustrated when it's done. By Will Stale. It's by Tanya DeRoyo, one of the greatest writers for comics in a while. Her Sabrina the Teenage Witch was actually one of my favorite things. She's also done stuff for Dark Horse, and it's going to be hardcover when it's all finished, and this is going to be awesome. I'm going to want to probably promote the hell out of this, and it is out on November 24th, 2015, so keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled. The Nest, I wanted this because of the illustrations of John Clausen, but Kenneth Opel is a great writer, and he's written some great stuff, and I'm pretty interested in reading the book itself, as much as wanting to see the art, and this is scheduled for sometimes they really do make this hard, people. Should be right there on the back of the book when the book's scheduled to come out. If it's an advanced reader's copy, but it's not there right off the side. Okay, where we go, 10/06, 2015. It's in very small print. Next up is The Curiosity House. Lauren Oliver, H.C. Chester. Another one of the books from HarperCollins that I was quite excited for. Sale date, 9/29/15. Capstone Books. Scrap City, October 2015. Amazing cover by, this is by D.S. Sword. This cover is, check out that cover, it's awesome. Hell, you want this book just for that cover, maybe. They were giving out copies of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, the movie that's about to come out. I know the book's a couple of years old, but I didn't have a copy, and they were giving out tons of finished copies, and I'm excited to have a copy. After the Red Rain, so big book, Barry Lyga. He wrote it with the actor Peter Fettuccinelli. People were excited for this, August 2015. Next book in the new Cassandra Clare, Holly Black series of Magisterium, Copper Gauntlet. Great series. If you haven't read it, you want to. Zach De La Cruz, beginning of a new series, comes out August 2015. Written by Jeff Anderson. Check it out. Here's an arc I was really, really excited by and excited to read. Paul Tobin, The Genius Factor. I actually had it on my schedule to make sure I did not miss the drop on this to get a copy of this. Paul Tobin's one of my favorite comic book writers. I'm very curious to see what he does in middle grade and YA. This is actually coming out in March of 2016. You got plenty of time to get your eyes on it, get your brain around it, and be ready in 2016 for this to blow out your ears and blow out your minds. Sympathy for the Dead. M.T. Anderson sounded absolutely fascinating when I was reading about it before the show. Definitely wanted to get a copy. Glad I got one, and here this is coming out in September of 2015. The cover is absolutely amazing. I think it's Seth. It looks like a Seth cover to me. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Actually, this says it's by Kikoyo Johnson, so it is not a Seth. It's by Kikoyo Johnson. I believe I've heard that name before in comics, but I'm not positive. Amazing cover, though. And the new book from Scott Westerfield, Afterwards, was amazing. Everything else Scott Westerfield has done before this has been blowing me away. He co-wrote this with Margot Lanigan and Deborah Biancotti. This is going to have a big campaign. It's going to come out on 9/29/2015. It's going to be a book to keep your eyes out on. And now here are some books that I grabbed that just caught my eye. Because they caught my eye. It's Friends for Life. Comes out August 25th. Part of one of Scholastic's David Ficking books from Scholastic. Just sounded like a really fun book. Cool cover. Check it out. From Abrams, it's actually from Amulet. They do a lot of great things that I always enjoy. This amazing cover, wow, is by Yuko Shimutsu, who I believe has done covers for The Unwritten from Vertigo. If I am incorrect, then I'm incorrect on that, and I apologize. But if I'm correct, I'm correct. So awesome. This is September 2015. I grabbed this because it just looked adorable. They had them on the floor. You see the title. It's a Cupcake Conundrum, Kate Pankhurst, Mary Ellen Mystery Investigations. It's from Barron's. It's out now. It's adorable. This is also available on the floor, so I had to grab it. It's a Dork Diaries. I've never read one of Dork Diaries, but they look really fun. Rachel Renee Russo. Started looking through this. Looks really fun. Okay, this one is pretty exciting. So, I have a second edition printing of The Little Prince in hardcover. It is probably my favorite book of all time. Well, next to Douglas Adams and Robert Heinlein and Carl Haitian and Lemony Snicket, two others. But other than that, The Little Prince is literally one of my favorite books of all time. And It's a nice, cool new cover. Hot Mifflin is now re-promoting the book because it's got a special forward by Greg McGuire in it, and they're making a movie now, so that's pretty awesome. So, Boxcar Children got a life, a sword on the floor as I was leaving the show one of the days, and it's out now. It's from Albert Whitman and Company. Boxcar Children, pretty cool. This is really cool looking. There was a dog at the show, not this dog, another dog, but the dog was just as cute. So they were promoting the ASPCA books, Welcome to the Pet Rescue Club. Proceeds all help dogs, and it's all based on true stories. So I love dogs. Wolf by Ryan Grauram comes out in October 2015. One of the books on the floor. Walled City was amazing. She did Walled, and that's right, Ryan Grauram. Sounds like a male, but she's a female. She did The Walled City, which is a great book. Was a big book last year at the show. I guess her new book is not as big, but it's this October 2015, and it seems pretty cool. Samurai Rising is based on real samurais. It's both fiction and non-fiction, and sounded really fascinating. I kind of grabbed this because there's Gareth Hines artwork throughout, and Gareth Hines is awesome. They were giving out big hard copies of the Maps Everywhere to promote that there's going to be a sequel, but that's not coming out till October 2016, so they're giving out the first book of this by Kerry Ryan and John Parkins Davis. Couldn't miss it, couldn't pass it up. I missed the first book in Dave Balducci's new series of Vega Jane, but they said this is easy to read without writing the first one. You'll understand everything that's going on pretty quickly, and boom. So this comes out in September 8th, 2015, and I'll be checking that out as time allows. This looks so adorable. Diary of a Mad Brownie. It's from Bruce Colville. Bruce Colville is actually another one of my favorite writers of all time. He's done unicorn books. He's done Aliens. He's done everything. This comes out on June 30th. Now he's attacking brownies. He's the best. Bruce Colville is awesome. The Hired Girl is usually not something I would check out, but it's a period novel, and it sounded really interesting, and sounded like it had a good voice, so I thought I'd check it out, and you may want to check it out too. It takes place in the early 1900s in a farm in Pennsylvania, and goes to Baltimore, and it's about a young woman growing up during that really hard time of life. And this is coming out in September. Animals, loving animals, you can't miss that. You can't not love it. It's from Turtleback Books. It's out now. It's called Unlikely Friendships by Jennifer S. Holland. It's got goats loving cheetahs, and iguanas loving cats, and monkeys loving kitty cats, and elephants loving sheep, and it's just adorable. Another book from Amulet. They just put out great stuff. This one is called Brilliant. The cover is, again, amazing. And that's by Emily Hughes. I'm not familiar with the name, but I'm going to look her up now. And it's about a black dog. And it takes place in Dublin, and it seems pretty fun. And that comes out in September. Got 2 more to go. And then we can close this out. It's really long. It's a half hour. I'm sorry. This comes out on February 2nd, 2016. This is Amy Carter. Check it out. It is called Simon Thorne and the Wolf's Den. Another great cover. That's why it caught my eye. And this last one has also caught my eye because of the great cover. Stonebird. Mike Ravel. It's from Quercus. Like I said, great cover. Comes out at the end of this month. And that'll be it. Hope you enjoyed this very long second vlog. Hope you watched it all the way through. If you didn't, I understand. But if you did, congratulations. Next vlog will be comics. That won't be long. I've read a lot of the comics. There might be mini reviews in it. So check that out. And I will see you again. Hoping I'm getting better at this. This is not going to be edited. No jump cuts. Just, I'm going to wait for it to be exactly 1 half hour. And